Good evening and welcome to the Formula Racing League Assetto Corsa Competizione Round 2 of the Taco Tuesday series in the Pro category. We arrive in Brands Hatch in Kent, the United Kingdom. Tom Kent's in the contrary position, providing you with everything you need to know throughout tonight's action as we see the cars on track for qualifying to determine the grid for the 60-minute race that follows. One driver he'll be hoping to build on his race win from last week. Alberto Aragonese won out in the end in the 80-minute special at the Hungaroring 7 days ago. Jack Prentice bringing his Ferrari home in second place ahead of Adam Sharp and Jeffrey Godefroy, all of which who are gunning to beat Aragonese this evening. If you have joined us, we do welcome you. Do get involved in the live chat if you ever so wish to do. Let me know how you've been getting on. This is the second round of the championship. Next week we go to Zolder in Belgium. And it's to a new venue for the Taco Tuesday series. It's the Red Bull Ring in Austria, which will be the host of the second 80-minute special. And it's to Paul Ricard on May the 7th. And it's to Suzuka and Donington, which will be the last of the 80-minute races. Nürburgring plays host to the 8th and penultimate round, and the 9th and final race of the season will be in Watkins Glen on June the 4th. So far it is Manuel Andre at the head of the field, ahead of Aragonese's last week's winner. Well, let's say Andre. He's now been disposed of by Luke Prentice, who's able to go to the top of a 1 minute 23.1. Got 18 drivers in the lobby at the moment. We hope to see a few more turn up, but I think this may well be the grid for this evening. The Brands Hatch circuit, pretty much the home of British touring cars, as it has been for a number of years. Aragonese goes back to the top with a 1 minute 23.1, less than a 10th clear of Prentice. There's a lot of new names on the grid this season. Aragonese is going into the wall there, and that'll be him going back into the pit lane. So we look at the number 21 Porsche. That is Carl Sween from the US. Welcome to Taco Tuesday for this season to him. We've got Jay Wazzer from the Republic of Ireland. Number 32 Bentley. Got 992 Porsche there. Just trying to find him on my sim grid, because that's where we usually get the drivers registered on. Just trying to find him on the I might find him on the standings actually, that'd probably be the best place for me to look at, considering we've done one round already this season. It's Matthias Simon from France. We've got Alessio Mascherpa from Italy. And in number 4, Aston Martin. Andy Craven, we're familiar with, Father Vizsla Jack Prentice. Adam Sharp has just moved down the order. In the 314 BMW is Matteo Pessina. In the 185 Lamborghini is the Estonian driver Larsen Klaus Tamaku. No, it's Järvenpää, sorry. Järvenpää's on the... I'm just trying to find him on the standings. Can't find him on the standings at the moment, probably because he didn't register last week. No, I can't find him on the list, unfortunately. Jonas Järvenpää from Finland, my apologies. So, Järvenpää ended up 6th in last week's race. And it's the 999 BMW. We've got, it's Simon Straczynski. I'm sure I've seen him around in the past. In the 999 BMW. Mark Bird in the 103 BMW. I think he's the only driver out of all those in the grid who's contesting on a different console to the PlayStation, hence why crossplay has been activated. Down at the bottom we've got David Wagner in the 992 Porsche. And the 491 Porsche in terms of his car number. The 992 Porsche is the car model of which he is racing in. Porsche 992 GT3. We've got 4 minutes to go then. Aragon SS is fastest by less than 0.3 of a second, or 0.03 of a second, over the Belgian Geoffrey Godefroy. Then it's Luke Prentice in 3rd. Manuel Andre is in 4th place, ahead of Morgan Grace and Carl Sween. And then it's Matteo Simon, Jay Wazzer, Adam Sharp, and Alessio Mascherpa rounding out the top 10 as we speak. Team 42 just coming in saying excited to see this race on a Thursday last week here with FRL. I'm a total rookie. Be good to see some racing from the league whilst not in the cockpit. Well, very well welcome to you. Hope you do enjoy the action throughout this evening. It'll be a 15-minute race. So 15 minutes of qualifying, which we are currently in. We've only got about 3 minutes to go. And we've got a bit of a break before the 60-minute race begins, including a mandatory pit stop. You do not have to refuel, but you do have to change tyres. That is mandatory in these races. 25 points for a win, 24 for second. I think it's the top 25 who would score points. The points system is different this season compared to previous. In case you're wondering how you can get involved in the FRL, if you're into PC, there's the Team Sprint Cup that's happening this evening, presumably. And on Thursday we've got the Rookies and Masters Series, as well as the late night party event on the Friday, as well as some monthly endurance races. On the PlayStation side of things, there's Taco Tuesday, of which you're watching now. We've got the late night championship on Thursdays, as well as the Sprint Series on Sundays, endurance races on a monthly basis, and every other week we've got some sprint endurance races. And finally, those are into F123. Well, F124 is soon around the corner. There's the two-tier system series, of which they run on Tuesdays. There's a separate one on Friday, as well as Sunday. There's the Realistic Racing League and the 100% Distance Championships on Saturday. So plenty of championships that you can join. I think with the Team Sprint Cup, involves British touring cars or something like that. It's done on R Factor, as far as I know. Got less than, well, just over a minute to go. Godfrey now goes fastest into the 1 minute 22s. Aragonese is looking to get that back. No points are on offer for pole position. You can get a point for setting the fastest lap of the race, which could come very handy at the end of the season. Aragonese was not able to dispose of Godfrey or displace him, so he remains in P2. He was on pole last week, was Aragonese. Luke Prentice is third, and it's Manuel Andre who's just coming towards clearways to begin his last effort. Who else have we got coming towards clearways? We've got 4-9-1 coming around the last corner. That is David Wagner, who is in need of an improvement from before. He'll have one more go at it if he can't do it here. And he does get the gap down. He's still last, but he's less than a tenth behind Straczynski in the BMW. So the checker flag is out now, so these drivers are finishing their last laps. Here is Mark Bird in the BMW. Over the line he comes, and it's an improvement in time but not in position, so he will be 16th, no higher. The number 4 we've got going on there is Muskerpa. He doesn't go up the order himself. We've got Aragonese coming round. Can he take pole position away from Godfrey right at the end? He can! By 200ths of a second. So he's ahead of the McLaren. Is Aragonese on course for 2 pole positions out of 2. Godfrey's not on circuit, so he will not take that back. But brilliant lap time there from Godfrey as Bevizel comes into the pits. Pacina likewise. And that pretty much concludes qualifying, unless David Wagner, of all people, can pull off a mighty lap here to take back, or to be on pole, or perhaps move up the field. He's got a chance of doing that. But no, he's decided to come into the pits. That concludes qualifying then for the 60-minute race that is coming up for Taco Tuesday in the Pro category. Alberto Aragonese is on pole position ahead of Jeffrey Godfrey. Luke Prentice is third alongside Manuel Andre on the second row. We've got Matteo Simon and Jay Wazza on the third row of the grid ahead of Morgan Grace and Carl Sween. Andy Craven and Jack Prentice round out the top 10. We've got Adam Sharp and Alessio Muskerpa on row 6 ahead of Farkle Bevizel and Pacina on the 7th row. And then we've got Jarvan Parr and Mark Bird alongside each other. And on the 9th and last row of the grid, it is Straczynski and David Wagner. So it will be about 5 minutes before the formation up does begin, so feel free to send in your questions or your thoughts on the race ahead, who you are rooting for. I can say that Team 42 is rooting for Wagner. Got to support the underdog, which is nice to hear. Don't know for certain about what the weather is going to bring. I could probably imagine it's going to be relatively dry. No rain on the horizon. As far as the championship is concerned, Aragonese is ahead by a point over Jack Prentice, the driver who set the fastest lap of the race last week. Just trying to find that. I'm finding it quite difficult to find who actually got that, so bear with. It was Michael Kleiboer. He was able to get the fastest lap point. So the question coming in saying, what would you do strategy-wise? Fill to the top with fuel and just do a tyre swap, or half fuel and top it when you swap tyres? I think it depends on the nature of the circuit and how the circuit itself can eat the tyres for breakfast, essentially. As the drivers are on the grid now with 3 minutes to go before the formation lap begins. I think it depends how you want to play it. And also the weather comes into it. Now, with it being a dry race, I'd probably say you don't want to fill the tank up with well, basically the tank being fuel, or full, I should say, because it's a fast-flowing circuit. It's Brands Hatch, and you need to get every corner right. You know, it could be about 2 seconds or so slower if you're on a full tank of fuel compared to someone who's on a half full, half full. But we'll see. I'm sure the drivers are thinking about what they want to do as far as the race goes on. Of course, doing a tyre change in the closing stages does actually help, because it would mean a faster pit stop. So we'll see how this one plays out for the drivers. Now, Brands Hatch, as I've already mentioned, is the home of British touring cars, the Formula Ford Festival. It was a previous Formula 1 race as well, up until 1986. It used to alternate with Silverstone as host of the British Grand Prix. There's been a couple of times where it's played host as the European Grand Prix. It was the venue that Nigel Mansell picked up his first Formula 1 race win, the first of his 31 wins. He would prove to be the last race winner of a Formula 1 race in Brands Hatch in 1986. Eighteen drivers on the grid for tonight. Liked a few more, but it is what it is. Once the formation up is underway, the drivers move off the grid, that we can go through where everyone is lining up. Reganesses is on pole position for the second week in a row. We're looking to make it 2 wins from 2. And so we are underway for the formation up. Reganesses on pole with Jeffrey Godefroy alongside. The apprentice and Manuel Andre on next. Says Simon and Jay Wazza behind. Morgan Grace and Carl Sween are on row 4 ahead of Andy Craven and Jack Prentice. 11th and 12th are Adam Sharp and Alessio Muskerpa. On the 7th row of the grid we've got Farflop Fizzle, and alongside him is the number 4 Aston Martin of Messina. Just trying to find his first name again, because it's a new name for me. Is that one? Matteo Pessina, that is. I'll remember that for future reference. On the 8th row of the grid, it is Eunice Yarvenpart and Mark Bird. Making up the grid is the Pole, Simon Straczynski, and the German David Wagner in the 491 Porsche. There'll be a rolling start. Godfrey, I believe, has yet to win in Taco Tuesday. Can he change that this evening without getting involved in anyone else's incidents, given it's a reduced field from what he was used to last season? Should be able to cope with it fine. So we're coming to clearways now. We're very close for the race to begin. Aragon says focusing very much on a good start and pull away from the rest of the pack, just as he did last week at the Hungaroring. Got a fright. We'll watch the lights. They won't want to exceed the speed limit before the green flag is waved. We'll wait the green flag from the marshal. And we are underway in Brands Hatch. Aragonese cuts across a little bit to cover his line ahead of Godfrey into Paddock Hill Bend. But there's contact between Prentice and Godfrey. They keep going as they are, but Aragonese leads from the front. And Prentice is up the inside there of Godfrey, by the looks of it, unless he's dropped back. I think Prentice has dropped back at the first turn. So it wasn't actually Prentice getting involved in the contact with Godfrey. That was actually Manuel Andre. So Manuel Andre has dropped down the order on the exit of Druids. Godfrey remains in second place behind Aragonese as they come up through S13. And down they come through Pilgrim Drop, or Pilgrim's Drop, and into the right-hander of Hawthorne, or Hawthorns. Aragonese leads. Godfrey second, and it's Matteo Simon in third place with a brilliant getaway. Manuel Andre is fourth. Morgan Grace ahead of Carl Sween. It's Andy Craven. Jack Prentice is down in 8th place now, or he's ahead of his brother, who's well and truly down the order. Jay was at 9th, and Fargo Vizzle's made up a few positions as well in the 34 McLaren. The drivers are coming around to complete the first lap of this Taco Tuesday race this evening. And there's a yellow flag, and it's David Wagner has gone for a spin. And it's before Sterling's there. He's had us coming together with someone. Adam Sharp has also got involved in something. He might have been involved in the incident with him. He was able to continue. Now Druids for the second time. Aragonese is able to pull away. And we look at Godfrey right on board with the Belgian as they go through S13. Curve, horses at it, down underneath the bridge of Pilgrim's Drop, right under Hawthorns, follows, next to Westfield, over the curve, up with the race leader, the machine curve, Sterling's. Clearways they come. So Clark curve. Going through into the run straight to conclude the lap. Fantastic to go again once more. Aragonese with the fast stop of the race. They'll hope to keep that for the foreseeable future. See if there's actually any battling going on at the moment. Andy Craven ahead of Jack Prentice. Luke Prentice looking to fight his way back through the field after a really terrible start from third place on the grid. Now he's behind Mark Bird. Remember, he is on a different console to what the rest of the field are on, so his touch maybe a little bit funny. To get into the slipstream out of S13. You see the change of position down towards Hawthorne, so it's probably not the best place to get an overtake done there. Aragoneses, it's Simon and Andre in third and fourth, followed by the two Porsches of Morgan Grace and Carl Sweet. Results have ahead of Pacina and Jarvenpar. Luke Princess is looking to make a move on Bird. Straight moved on as soon as he can. Might have one more race really to get these overtakes completed and come back through the field. Princess was able to fight his way through. I think Bird might have gone off the circuit. No, he hasn't actually. He's behind Luke Princess. Doesn't look like he had. Princess is through anyhow. Andre fourth. Grace, Sweet, Craven, Princess, Wasser, Whistle. In the top 10. No retirements so far. David Wagner at the back on his own in 18th position. Jarvenpar, the Finn. He's debuting Taco Tuesday this season in the pro category anyway. Down they go once more. It's a very nice delivery on that Lamborghini. Carl Sweet is behind Morgan Grace in the back of the 5th place. He's hoping to position at some point through the pit stops. It's his best chance. On lap number 5, Aragoneses is 1.1 seconds clear over Jeffrey Godefroy in 2nd place. It's Matthias Simon in 3rd. Manuel Andre 4th. See a change of position in the near future here. Swing right on the tail of Grace. Paul Thorns. So shining all around the circuit here in Brands Hatch. Wide there, it's just cars ahead, just no harm done. In fact, number 34 has dropped down the order, and that's Farcliffe for Pizzle, and it looks like he's hit the wall, or at least he's damaged the car somehow. And he rejoins down the order, and the 185 has gone for a spin. It's Jarvenpar who's gone for a spin on the exit the Clark curve. He's able to get going again. Wagner's got a little bit more of a race on his hands now. Get back into it. And all that has promoted Luke Princess up to 12th place. Aragoneses in the lead. Godefroy 2nd. There's Matthias Simon. In fact, no change really in the top 9 over the last few laps. Adam Sharp is looking to get back through on Straczynski, who's then through. Sheet curve, this is Sterling's then through. There's Matt Bird just ahead. Sharp moves to the inside, through clear ways. There's no way through at the moment, there is now though. Pulls alongside and Sharp gets ahead of Straczynski, and that's enough for him to go up into 14th position. Nice overtake there from Adam. Jarvenpar comes into the pits. He will be able to take his mandatory stop now. field comes down once more, and Godefroy's falling back into the clutches of Simon, who has been gaining ground on him in recent laps. It's nice to see Simon get stuck in. Every position possible. Right to the curves. Godefroy and Simon. See a car go off. Adam Sharp, who's just pulled off an overtake on Straczynski, has had a moment at Westfields. He's dropped down to 17th place now as a consequence. He's got to throw ahead of Simon. Chasing after. Him. I think he's had enough. Has he had enough, or is he back in the race? No, I think that he's in the pits. He's had enough, his bird, so that could be his night done. There's Simon behind Godefroy in the fight for second. Clear weight, now Clark. For those who are wondering why you can't hear the commentary on the onboard, it's because if I put my volume up higher than it is, it'll end up peaking. You get this sort of crackling sound, which is not what we want to be hearing, really. It's something I can maybe fix in the coming races when I am commentating, but not right this second. Was in 8th place. He's ahead of Craven now. He's right behind Jack Prentice in the B7. So he's coming alive a little bit, is was it? Right at the exit of Sheens. Here's Grace ahead of Sween. Right on board once again with the 21 Porsche as they go down the pit straight. All the way through at the moment for the time being. Here they come. There's Sween in 6th position. Very well. Sandro behind Simon and Godefroy. Imagine the fight for second going all the way to the flag. The pit stops could change things. And Mark Bird has left the service, so that's him out of the race. still leads, ahead of Godefroy and Simon. As we watch Andre run wide on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend. And Yarvenpart is back in the pits again. Not sure what that is for. I don't know if he's had an incident on circuit. I think that could well be his race run, unless he decides to keep going for the sake of getting to the checker flag. If you don't finish, you don't score points. Curbs goes Andre. Race is in 5th place at a Sween. Still nose to tail those two. Also Craven and Luke Prentice are in the top 10. Minutes into the race now, quarter of the way through. Drivers can take their mandatory stops as soon as they want, providing they complete that before the 1 minute signal. We're watching Sween go for it on Grace. Don't know if Grace made a mistake coming out of the Clark curve, but it's enough for Sween to pull alongside, and that's enough for a change of position. Sween moves in front of Grace into 5th place. That move had been coming for a number of laps now, and Sween can now push on and go after Manuel Andre for 4th position, but he's got 5 seconds to make up on him. Aragonés 3 seconds clear over Godefroy. Running wide on the exit of Hawthorns. Second and third place drivers. Andre 4th, and it's Sween in 5th place. Jack Prince is still ahead of Jay Wazzer. Go for a helicopter angle, so not an on-board. Down the hill they come. Simon and Andre going through the gravel once more. Paddock Hill Bend, which won't help. I don't think Yarvenpart's going to rejoin the race, so I think that's him gone from this one. So 16 runners. For second and third. No change between these two. On lap number 13, approaching the end of that now. Aragonés is still pulling away from the rest of the pack. One small mistake could change things. You never know in motor racing. Jack Prentice was 0.3 of a second behind, was it? Beginning of the lap. And look at these two now. No way through for Jack. Luke Prentice, I think, is finding it just as tough. Let's get through on Andy Craven for 9th. Hawthorns again. Princess behind Craven, looking for a way through. This may be his best chance yet. She needs to pull into the slipstream before he has a go into Paddock Hill Bend. Now does Craven see him in time? He does. He allows Prentice to go through, although Luke goes in too deep into turn 1. I think Craven's going to get back through into Druids. Nice dicing between these two, leaving each other space and respect. Jack Prentice dropped back from Jay Wasson now. Paul Sweeney is 6 seconds behind Manuel Andre. Someone's still going after Godefroy. Second place. I think Godefroy's down a place now. He's lost second to Simon. We looked away for a moment, but I'm sure you saw it on the stream. Godefroy down to third place now. In fact, he's tussling with Simon. I think Andre's got 3 on the pair of them for the moment, unless I'm thinking of things, because Aragoneses has lost his 3-second lead over Godefroy. So I was getting mixed up with the livery of the cars there for a moment. But the gap between the top 4 now is a lot closer than it was a lap ago. The Apprentice is still behind Craven in the battle for 9th. We're on lap 16. Aragonese is not as comfortable now as what he was about a lap ago. As David Wagner comes in for his mandatory stop. It's going to come down to who will decide to pit in. It's the likelihood they'll come out in some clean air, those that pit first, given how long it takes for a pit stop. Then we see Andre go for the pits. He thinks he can get an undercut done. Let's see how long it takes for him to get this stop done. Right, I'm clocking it at 37.14. Keep an eye on how the leaves are going on, but I think they're spaced out a little bit now. So we're probably looking at around 30 seconds for a pit stop. 15 seconds. Andre's been in the pits form now. We'll certainly get out with some clean air, which will help. So I think we're about 36.44. Should be leaving the box. Past the 30-second mark for his pit stop. He was in the box for about 37 seconds, was Andre, so he rejoins in 15th place on the road. How will the leaders respond to that? Aragoneses, Godefroy and Simon. None of them dock into the pits at the end of this lap. Paul Sweeney's in 4th place, ahead of Jay Wasser now. Is anyone else looking to pit in? I'm not too sure at the moment. The majority of the field are not going to be pitting in until about the halfway point, which is around about 5 minutes time. Prentice up the inside there of Craven into Druids. Craven saw it coming. I think Prentice has this one, unless Craven decides to send one up the inside. And he continues to frustrate the Ferrari 43. Craven getting out of shape on the S13, and that will allow Prentice to come back in again. No way through for Luke on this occasion. Into the Brabham straight. Aragonés is still in front. Just to know how Andre's getting on at the moment. He's on his own. Use of all the clear track ahead of him. Towards Surtees once more. Aragonés is looking to build up the gap again after he ran wide, losing that 3-second margin by his own accord. There's Grace behind Wazza. And Luke Prentice still behind Craven. Looks like Luke is about to go through. Craven defends his line. Luke still cannot find a way through. Sterling's again. Prentice is not finding it easy to get through. It's up the inside now, and that's because he's going into the pits. Will be looking to make his way through the field during the stops. Just want to make sure he doesn't go down a lap when the leaders come round. Aragonés is out in front. Got to throw second still, ahead of Simon. Holdsween ahead of Wazza and Morgan Grace. And Luke Prentice has exited the pits and stays on the lead lap. Matthias Simon has come into the pits from third place. So I would say 31.38 is where I clocked it at. I've also got Andy Craven coming in the 16 Ferrari, as is Matteo Pessina and Alessio Mascherpa. Simon's left in 35 seconds, which was quicker than what Manuel Andre had put together. In fact, he's coming down the pit straight is Andre, and Simon's going to remain in front of him. His tyres won't exactly be up to temperature like Andre's is, so this is Andre's chance to close in, providing he doesn't run wide too much like he's just done there. Drivers need to be wary of track limits as well, because that will come into play. Simon's the highest of the drivers who have pitted. What will the leaders do now? Because they are continuing to stay out there, are Aragoneses and Godefroy. I think they're coming up to back markers, and that's not going to help them one bit. So the timing of Simon and Andre's pit stops may have paid dividends. And you can see Aragones has been let through by Pacina. And it's Maskerpa who's next ahead. Sharp coming into the pits now. We're into the second half of the race. Aragones' win is far from secure at the moment. Continues to run wide. I don't know whether he's just pushing too hard or whether his tyres are beginning to really fall off. Aragones is coming into the pits now. What does Godefroy decide to do? Does he stay out there? In fact, he's made a mistake as Godefroy on this lap. He's dropped so far back. I don't know how he's managed to do that, but he's so far behind Aragones. There's no chance of him being in the lead by the time this race is over. And he nearly takes out what looks like Jay Wazzett as they all came into the pits there. So Godefroy is in a totally different battle now to what he was before. So Simon and Andre will go up into second and third places, providing they don't tangle. And Andre nearly dropping it on the exit of Hawthorns. This is Aragones' race to lose now. Jack Prince is staying out there for another lap at least. But this is potentially the battle for the net race lead. The Vissel has also decided to stay out another lap. Down the Brabham Straight. Now, where is Aragones? Is he out of the pits? He is. In fact, he's a long way clear. He's into the net race lead and looking on course for the win. And there is Sween, who's behind Andre and Simon. And Godefroy has lost. Well, he's lost a bundle of time. He's ahead of Grace and Wazzett. It looks like fourth place. Well, it won't be fourth place now. We're just waiting for the timing pages to update. He's behind Sween, so he's looking at fifth position. Here's Godefroy. Aragones' gap over Simon is nearly 6 seconds. Jack Prince is coming into the pits. What does Fizzle decide to do? Is he coming in, or is he going to go out for another? He's staying out for another lap. Perhaps he wants to stay at the front for as long as he can, which will potentially mean a shorter pit stop. And to be fair, he's got all the clear track ahead of him, which he can use. Going too deep there into Druids, that'll lose him time. Simon and Andre go through. What about Sween and Godefroy? They're both through. Grace will go through. What about Luke Prentice? Is he going to be able to get through here? He has done. Wazzett is also through, as is Craven. So down to 11th place goes Jack Prentice. We've got Farglov Vissel, who's still yet to stop. And he's the only one left now to make a mandatory stop in this race. Whistle comes in, from the race lead now. He decides that a lap was enough for him, being in the lead. Aragonese will take over. He just needs to make no mistakes from here on in. Through. Grace is as well. Francis. Jane Wazza. Jack Francis is also through. Alessia Maskerpa will go through. Simon Straczynski is probably too far back. So I think Farhad Bavizzel's 12th place will be pretty much secure. He's leaving his box. He's going back onto the circuit now, and he's ahead of Straczynski. 12th place going in the way of the man from the Czech Republic. Farhad Bavizzel has been around in this championship for a long time now. Battle for second place is raging on now between Simon and Andre, even after their stops. And we're going to be seeing a change for position in the closing stages here. Simon and Andre, second and third. Will it remain that way to the end of the race? Simon almost parking the car on the apex there to stop Andre from getting through. And all this battle is allowing Aragonese to pull further clear. Adam Sharp is ahead of Matteo Pessina now into 14th position. But the closest battle by far is between Simon and Andre for second. To continue to do battle around this legendary Brands Hatch circuit, owned by Motorsport Vision, co-founded by the former Formula 1 driver Jonathan Palmer. Some will remember from his punditry days with the BBC. Of course, he was in the commentary position alongside Murray Walker, following the premature demise of James Hunt in 1993. Andre almost running wide there, but he's able to keep the car on the island, staying right into the clutches of the 992 Porsche. Running wide won't help him. I'll give Simon a little bit of breathing space. Sween and Godefroy's battle is coming alive in the fight for fourth. 21 minutes remaining. So far in this race we've done 27 laps, so I'd probably say we're looking around another 14 to round off tonight's action. So we're looking around about a 41 lap race at most. Or 42 rather. Aragonés on course to make it 2 from 2 in season 13 of Taco Tuesday. It's been going on since 2021. It looks like someone's had an off. It's the 314 of Matteo Pessina, who's just gone off before Sterling's, and he's damaged the bonnet of his car. And he'll be needing to go back into the pits after that. Don't know how he's managed to do that. I don't think anyone else is involved, but that's heavily compromised his race. If he does rejoin, he'll fall to 16th. Aragonés is running wide at Pettikill Bend. He'll need to be careful doing that, because he won't want to get caught out by track limits. That's the last thing he needs. Sween and Godefroy for 4th place. Luke Prentice in P7 behind Morgan Grace. Has come back through the field nicely as Luke. He won't want to stop there. 3rd on the grid before falling back at the start. He's right into the slipstream of the Porsche, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move into Hawthorns. And in fact, Grace just allows him to go. I think what he's worried about is if he continues battling with Prentice, then that will allow Jay Wazzer and Andy Craven to come into play. That was very generous of an overtake there from Morgan Grace, I have to admit. But Luke Prentice is through, and he can go after Jeffrey Godefroy and Carl Sween. Not long left to go in this race now, just 18 minutes remaining. And on that 30, it's Alberto Aragonés who's dominating proceedings in the Mercedes AMG. Matteo Pessina, I don't think, has rejoined the race, so he is the 3rd retirement of this one. Sween and Jeffrey Godefroy fighting over 4th place. Could be a 3-way fight should Luke Prentice get on with it and catch up to them. The pair of them riding the curbs. Simon and Andre in 2nd and 3rd, having their own battle. And Andre still not close enough to have a go at the present moment. A 3-way battle for 8th place between Jay Wazzer, Andy Craven and Jack Prentice. Things could get very tasty here between these three. Further behind them is Alessio Mascherpa. Craven in 9th behind Wazzer as they go through Druids. Grace behind Luke Prentice, going after these two, Carl Sween and Jeffrey Godefroy. Sween and Godefroy still tussling every corner of every lap. and Andre still there. 7/10 the gap. Now we look at Jack Prentice, who's behind Craven and Wazza. In fact, Craven has been positioning the car to the outside. Jack Prentice is not able to go through right now. Simon and Andre are in second and third places. Good for podium finishes. It was Aragoneses, Jack Prentice and Adam Sharp in the top three. So it's going to be Aragoneses again on the top step with Matthias Simon and Manuel Andre. Now Simon finished 11th last week in the Hungaroring. Andre didn't finish. That's why he didn't score. Down the hill they come. This undulating part of the racetrack, and to be fair, it's pretty undulating all the way through. There's Carl Sween ahead of Jeffrey Godefroy down through Paddock Hill Bend. Place still, determined to make up after that error, whilst he was behind Aragoneses. No way through yet. As you can see, Porsche running wide. There's no way through. Godefroy to make a move. And the Clark curve. So you got a fright. Every bit of racetrack and maybe try and get an advantage at. Make a mistake each and every lap. Craven is behind Wazza in the battle for 8th place. Prentice has dropped back from these two. Skipper isn't making up any ground from behind. The gap between Aragoneses in the lead and Simon in second place is 10 seconds. And we've got an off at Paddock Hill Bend. It's the 491 that's gone off. It is David Wagner who's had a spin. Don't know how much damage he's damaged the bonnet there. As Wagner needs to come back in. It's been a low-key race for him. He's been at the back all this time. And Andre's dropped back from Simon. Haven't seen a mistake from Andre. He's fallen back into the clutches of Sween and Godefroy. With over 10 minutes to go, the battle for the final podium position is up for grabs. Andre runs wide again. He nearly drops it on the exit of Westfields, and that's going to give Sween the opportunity to make a move, but he can't take it there. Andre running wide again. He's able to hold on. Andre, Sween, Godefroy. Prentice will be closing in on all this. The gap is 3.7 seconds between him and Godefroy. It will come down to less than that. Over the line they go. The gap is 3.2. David Wagner is in the pits, and I can tell you another driver's had a moment is Alessio Mascherpa in the S of Sterling's, as he had damage to his car. Just looking at the bonnet, looks okay. He's able to continue. Still no change between Andre Sween and Godefroy. And in the background you can see Prentice and Grace closing in. Could potentially have a 5-car battle for third place in the closing stages. Nose to tail the 3 cars in your picture. Wagner's not rejoined the race yet. This is on his own. No such problems. Got a battle for 13th position between Simon Straczynski and Adam Sharp. Back to the battle for P3. Sween still not able to make his way through yet. Prentice is 2.7 seconds behind Godefroy. Morgan Grace keeping up. Will his tactics of letting Prentice through pay off? And Andre running wide again. Sheens, that's going to put him out of line through Sterling's. That's not going to help him either. Wagner's rejoined the race for your information, so potentially are going to get 15 finishes at the flag from the 18 that started. And Simon has not had the best of times of it either. He's been losing ground to Aragonese, who's very much out of reach now. Simon just needs to focus on bringing his car home in second place. If he continues making mistakes like he has been doing in recent laps, it's going to allow Andre Sween and Godefroy back in. Driver the fast side of the race is Alberto Aragonese, which is no surprise. But Simon's gap between him and Andre has come back down to 1.8. So instead of a battle for third place, we might have a battle for second very, very shortly. Possibly between 6 cars. And we've got 5.5 minutes to go in this race. A number of laps, I would say we've got no more than 4 laps to go. I would say maybe 5. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, it'll be no more than 4. So we're looking at a 42 lap race. Enough time for things to change. You can see Andre getting out of shape. That could give Sween the opportunity to pull into the slipstream. There's Andre, there is Sween, there is Godefroy. Prentice is another 2.3 seconds back. Oh, is that Simon going for a spin there? It is! He's had an off as Simon. On the exit of Sheens, Andre runs wide, and he hits the wall as Andre, and loses 3 places as a consequence. Sweden has got through into 2nd place ahead of Simon. It's like candy from a baby, and Sween took it. Sween into 2nd place. Simon, with a damaged Porsche, is in 3rd, ahead of Godefroy. And Andre, after his own off, is down to 5th, ahead of Luke Prentice and Morgan Grace. Sween is 18 seconds behind Aragonés as the race leader, but he's not focusing on that. He just needs to bring his car home in 2nd. Well, poor mistake from both Simon and Andre in the closing stages, and Godefroy thinks a podium is there for the taking. Simon's car will not be handling as well as it had done before that mistake. Francis thinks he can get 5th place from Manuel Andre. Aragonés has started the penultimate lap of the race. Now, looking at the times of how you can get a lap round this circuit, we might have a 43 lap race, you know, depending on how quick Aragonés gets these laps in. Sween focuses on the cars behind. The drivers need to make sure they've got enough fuel to get to the flag on as well. Andre's coming back into it now. He's a 2nd behind Godefroy. The fight for 2nd is far from over. Sween will not want to get carried away here. Aragonés is coming round now. I think he'll have 2 laps to go, judging by the timing of the laps. And a drive-through penalty's now been given to Manuel Andre. Well, someone was saying that he was pushing hard. Well, he has been pushing hard, albeit too hard. A drive-through penalty for exceeding track limits. Now, if he keeps going as he is, he might just allow that to be converted into a time penalty. But no, he's coming into the pits to get it served. And Manuel Andre's hopes of a podium are gone. Luke Prentice will go up into 5th place ahead of Morgan Grace. And Andre's race goes from bad to worse. He's going to lose all that time. He'll fall to 10th position. And Aragonés is on his penultimate lap. I don't think the checker flag is going to come out on this lap. He'll come out on the next one. Simon is in 3rd ahead of Godefroy. Luke Prentice in 5th and going after Godefroy, as is Morgan Grace. Aragonés is about to start his final lap, whilst these continue to do battle. 1 lap to go then for Alberto Aragoneses, on course to make it 2 wins from 2. But our focus is going to be on the fight for second. Sween's position is far from secure. Simon still thinks he can get it back. Needs to be wary of track limits as well. There's Simon in P3. Just waiting for a mistake from Sween, should there be one, but there is not enough time now to preempt a mistake. Surtees, Sween has it under control by the looks of it. We'll go to the race leader as that continues to kick on. Alberto Aragoneses dominant from start to finish. Once again, 20 seconds clear of the rest of the pack. Out of clearways for the last time. Alberto Aragoneses wins in Taco Tuesday once again, and doing so in Brands Hatch. What a drive from the 104 Mercedes AMG. Carl Sween, the American, will hold off Matteo Simon and Jeffrey Godefroy for second place. Well and truly deserved. No mistakes from him today. Matteo Simon will be disappointed not to get second. Jeffrey Godefroy will regret his mistake earlier, but Luke Prentice getting back to 5th place after his spin at the beginning, ahead of Morgan Grace in 6th. Jay Wazza, hold off Andy Craven to the flag, is 7th. Got Craven 8th, Jack Prentice 9th, and Manuel Andre, after having to serve that drive-through, is in 10th. We've got Farclava Bizzle, who's just holding off Simon Straczynski and Adam Sharp for P11. Sharp thinks he can take the drag race to the line. I think Straczynski's going to hold on to P12, which he does so. Bevezel 11th, Straczynski's 12th, Sharp 13th, Muskerpa in 14th place, and David Wagner, the rest of the finishers, in 15th place. But there's your race winner. It is Alberto Aragoneses, who makes it 2 from 2 in Season 13 of Taco Tuesday in the Pro category. Carl Sween, second place for him. Terrific result ahead of Matteo Simon. Jeffrey Godefroy 4th, ahead of Luke Prentice. Morgan Grace 6th. Jay Wazza, Andy Craven, Jack Prentice, and Manuel Andre rounding out the top 10. Farclub Vissel was 11th, followed by Simon Straczynski, Adam Sharp, Alessio Muskerpa, and David Wagner, with the rest of those to finish the race. Matteo Pessina, Eunice Jarvenpart, and Mark Bird did not finish the race today. With maximum points, it's looking very good for Alberto Aragoneses. His best start to a Taco Tuesday season pulled further clear of the rest, with Jack Prentice not having as good of a performance today as neither did Adam Sharp. Jeffrey Godefroy moves up to second place with his 4th place finish today, moving him on to 44 points. Alberto Aragoneses, with his race win and fast lap, moves him on to 51. So he has a 7-point lead in the Drivers' Championship going into the next race, which will be at Zolder in a week's time. I won't be around for due to other commitments, but whoever is substituting for me hopefully will witness a very good race then. It's time to end the broadcast. Thank you very much for watching. Do make sure you like and subscribe. Do check out all the championships you can be involved in the FRL, and hopefully you can join us for Taco Tuesday very, very soon. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.